So Napoleon, that French leader, tried to conquer the world, one of those types. He goes to Pierre Laplace, who's a cosmologist, who's just come up with a new theory of everything, basically, or well, the solar system at least. He says to him, Monsieur Laplace. Apart from that bit, it's going to be in English, so we understand it. But yeah, Monsieur Laplace. They tell me you have written this large book on the system of the universe and have never even mentioned its creator. Je n'avais pas besoin de cette hypothèse-là. I went to French for that bit. But anyway, that bit means I had no need of that hypothesis. Basically what Laplace is saying is he's figured out all the mechanics of everything. He can see how the gravity pulls everything into place and everything orbits everything else. He doesn't need a cosmic intelligence to be sitting there pulling the strings the whole time. And this is quite a common thing with atheist scientists. They come up with a theory, a hypothesis of how something works, and then they say, well, I know completely how this whole thing runs, I don't need God to be involved in any way. That's all well and good, but the problem comes up when, by doing this, the atheist will conclude, I don't need him here, he's of no use in my system, therefore he doesn't exist. I don't think that conclusion follows. John Lennox puts it really well. I'm going to use his example. For a lot of things there are two types of explanation. So if someone was to ask how does a car work, a mechanic could come back and say all about combustion engines and all this other stuff and how the fuel pumps in and gets burned up and all that mechanical stuff. The mechanic could give a really full and detailed explanation of how it works, and even if he does, that doesn't mean that Henry Ford doesn't exist. Once you've got the machine that works and runs without Henry Ford, that doesn't mean that Henry Ford wasn't there at the beginning. So when it comes to things like the universe and natural functions, they're all working mechanically and automatically, we assume. That doesn't mean God didn't set them all off in motion. The Bible does tell us that God sustains creation and everything, so it could be that with his invisible nature and power he's kind of turning cogs invisibly. But it works either way. He could be actually there doing everything, or he could have set it all up to be automatic. Whichever way it is, it just doesn't have any bearing on whether the hypothesis needs him or not after the creation invention has taken place. Yeah, just another quick example. If a kettle's boiling and someone asks why, someone could say stuff about how the electricity's going in, heating up coils, making the water boil and bubble and hit boiling point. Or you could say, I was thirsty, I wanted a cup of tea. Both of these explanations are completely accurate and fine, and they're not in contradiction with each other. So whenever someone says something about nature where they don't see a place for God to fit in, it doesn't mean he wasn't there at the beginning or he's not part of the explanation despite not being part of the entire mechanical side of things.